Right. This is called On Seeking. I made a rug once, a latch hook thing, a unicorn on blue backing. But on the day I completed it, my grandmother died, and somehow in my mind, the two events tied together. And I cried because I thought I had sealed her fate with my needle. I didn't understand at the time that my hands could make a rug that didn't steal my grandmother's love away. I remember the night after her funeral, lying in a field, gap-toothed 7, cold grass beneath me, staring up at the vastness of the sky, wondering if that was heaven and where Grandma went, whether all of those constellations were not a coincidence, but a destination on a map knitted by my ancestors to call her home. I imagined my rug was the floor, and their blanket was the ceiling, and Grandma was sleeping, holding the world in the crooks of her elbows. I lay for a while, swaddled in the blanket of my ancestors' stars, in my grandmother's arms, my great-grandmother's arms, my great-great-grandmother's arms, as connected to the distant universe as I was to the cord that grew me in my mother's womb. I felt then that all that I loved was out there. The world knew me, and I belonged to it. It felt infinite, divine. I wish I could have held on to that comfort, but it was fleeting. And my life since has been a journey of seeking to belong and to connect again and again, in mountains and seas, in the warm crackle of wood in the hearth, in lovers, in change, in burning bridges and new horizons. I have sought to connect. I have sought to belong, to be loved, to find my map, to recreate divinity. But those moments always passed away, slipped from my hands, and I have felt despairing and lost, convinced that I could not hold on to love. At some point, at my lowest ebb, someone said to me, "The only way out is in." And it was tempting to crush their gentleness, to barrel on. But wisdom is sticky and it would not be dismissed. And eventually I realized I needed to surrender my needle to the twists of fate, to stop my life's manic flow, to let go. I was afraid of what I would find when I called off the search and looked within, turned my eyes to the tapestry of my life. I studied the patterns that I had weaved blindly. But now, instead of grass and sky, I traced my fingers across where and why. The beauty, the love, the wildness, the chemistry. Every moment of alchemy, I followed them to their converging point through the open door. And there was a rug on the floor, and a blanket on the bed, and on the kitchen table, a needle and thread. And I saw my grandma and the universe in frames on the walls, and the walls were in my chest and beating. Here, in this place, was the end to my seeking. I had found the source of divinity. The only thing I had yet to love, the unsighted object of my frantic search, was me.